A stranger in the grocery store grabbed me and yelled, "These are my kidnapped children." I never thought that a simple trip to the grocery store could turn into a horror movie where I was the villain and my kids were the abducted ones. But America is a strange country. Everyone's used to hearing about kidnappings on the news, yet no one's ready for a false accusation to explode in your face right in the dairy aisle. My name is Melissa. I'm 41. I live in Houston, Texas. I'm not some teenager, not a mom influencer. I'm a grown woman with 2 marriages behind me, 1 complicated pregnancy, and 2 kids I didn't give birth to but love with every cell of my body. They're adopted, and that's where the whole story begins. I have 2 kids, Jaden and Miranda. He's 6, she's 4. They're biological siblings. When they were taken from their birth mother, she had addiction issues, no food in the house, one of those typical child services cases. My husband, well, ex-husband now, and I decided we'd take both. We wouldn't let them be separated. We're white. They're not. They have beautiful dark skin, curly hair, and the same tiny birthmark near their ear. They're my children. No matter the genetics, we're family. I'm explaining this because it became the trigger for what happened next. It was Friday, September 26th, 11:30 a.m. I remember because I had a shopping list and wanted to hit HEB before the lunch rush. I work from home. I'm a copywriter for medical clinics, so I can run errands midday. The kids weren't in daycare. Miranda had a little cold, so I kept her home. I took them both. Picture the scene. 1 cart, Miranda sitting inside swinging her legs, Jaden running ahead, grabbing snacks and asking for candy, and me, hair in a messy bun, no makeup, sweats, hoodie, just trying to survive. I didn't look like a criminal. I looked like every tired suburban mom in her 40s. And then we walked in. At first, everything was normal. Milk, juice, snacks. Jaden got mad when I said no cookies, Miranda sang to herself. Then I noticed the man. He wasn't the scary type. Maybe 50, 55. White, tall, slightly hunched, wearing jeans and a checkered shirt, the standard Texas cap, holding a small basket. Totally ordinary, but he was watching, too closely. At first I thought, oh, he's just smiling at the kids. People do that. My kids are adorable. I'm used to people staring. Sometimes they ask, are they twins? Or are they from your husband? Or they're so beautiful. Or even, are you their nanny? I've learned to shrug it off, but this man wasn't just looking. He kept showing up. Same aisles, same pace, never picking anything up. Just there. At the meat section, it got weird. I was choosing chicken breasts. He stood by the freezer, empty basket, eyes locked on us. Okay, I told myself. Maybe he's waiting for someone. In America, we're all paranoid about kidnappers, but I had both kids with me right in front of me. I'm a hyper-vigilant mom. Adoption trauma does that to you. I never lose sight of them. We moved on. Cereal aisle? And that's when it started. He came closer. Way too close. Excuse me, he said. Are those your kids? I didn't even look up at first. Reflex. Yes, they're mine. But then I saw his face. He wasn't curious, he was studying me. Yes, I repeated. Mine. Both of them? Something in his tone made my stomach tighten. Yes, both. Jaden came running with a dinosaur cereal box. Mom, can we get this one? No, sweetie, we already picked the oatmeal, I said. The man looked at him, then at Miranda, swinging her legs in the cart. They look alike, he said, to each other. They're siblings, I said curtly. Yes, they look alike. But not to you. And there it was. The line. In the US, you just don't say that. You never know the story. Adoption, donor, mixed family. You just don't. They're adopted, I said, because sometimes honesty is easier than enduring stares. From the same family, we took them together. And as soon as I said it, something clicked in his eyes. Ah, he said, and he walked away. I thought it was over. I kept shopping. But I saw him again near the frozen section, typing something into his phone, like he was texting someone. My chest got tight. I shook it off. Just grab the bread, cheese, baby food, and go. We turned into the bakery aisle. That's where the nightmare began. I was reaching for a baguette. The kids were arguing about who'd hold the bag of rolls, the usual chaos. And then someone grabbed my shoulder, hard, from behind. Not like a tap, like a restraint. I almost dropped the bread. I turned around. It was him, same man. His face was flushed, angry, eyes wide. Let go of those children, he shouted in my face. For a second, I didn't process. What? I said. And then he screamed. They're my children, my kidnapped children. I know them. You stole them. It was like the world froze. What the hell are you talking about? I yelled. They're my kids. Jaden froze, eyes wide, then ran and grabbed my leg. Mom? Miranda started crying, and that, of course, made it worse. See? He yelled to everyone around us. They're crying because she's scaring them. She kidnapped them. And people, God help me, people believed him. Or at least they didn't know whom to believe. Phones came out. A young guy moved closer. An older man asked, what's going on? Who took whose kids? I heard someone shout, call the manager. You're insane, I shouted. I'm their mother. I have documents in the car. Get your hands off me. He gripped my shoulder harder. I won't let go, he yelled. I saw them in the news. These are the kids. They're missing. You stole them. He really believed it. This wasn't a prank. This was a man lost in his own delusion, thinking he was saving someone. Get security, an employee screamed. Now! The kids were sobbing. I wrapped my arms around them, shielding them. Don't touch my kids, I screamed back. Step away from me. She's dangerous, he shouted. She's taking them. Call 911. That word, police. It's like a trigger here. People panic, some film, some flee, some jump in. A young store employee, a Latina, came running up. Ma'am, please, calm down. He needs to calm down, I snapped. He attacked me and my kids. He says the kids aren't yours. Oh, because I'm white, huh? I snapped. You serious right now? He reached toward Miranda and I snapped. I shoved him, hard, not a punch, but enough. Don't touch my daughter, I yelled. He stumbled back. I turned the cart toward me, blocking him. Then security arrived, a young black guy in a store uniform. What's happening? He demanded. The man pointed at me. Hold her, she kidnapped them. They're my kids, I shouted. I have proof. Call the police, fine, call them. The guard looked between us, then sighed. Ma'am, please stay here. Police are on the way. Perfect, I said. Let them come. But those 10 minutes before they arrived felt like a lifetime, because then came the questions, from strangers. Are they really yours? Why are they a different color? Why are they crying? Where's their father? Why don't you have ID? There was a story about kidnapped kids. Maybe it's them? People said this right to my face. Without knowing me, without knowing my story, without knowing how much pain it took to keep these kids together. Miranda sobbed, Mommy, I want to go home. And that should have been enough, but he screamed again. See? She's trained them. They're hostages. Hostages. In a grocery store. I stared at him and thought, do you have any idea how close I am to being arrested right now? Because here, they take kidnapping seriously. If the cops had believed him for even a second, that's it. Handcuffs, headlines, trauma. Finally, 2 officers came in, a tall white man and a Latina woman. The man shouted, Sir, back up. He pointed at me. That's her, that's them. I saw it online. Missing kids, that's them. Sir, we'll handle this, the officer said. The woman came up to me. Ma'am, can we step aside? I'm not leaving my kids, I said. That's fine, just over here, okay? We moved to the side. The man kept yelling. Check her car. I bet she has car seats ready. She's planned this. Sir, enough, the officer barked. I held my kids tight. They trembled. So did I, but I knew. If I panicked, it would look bad. Ma'am, your name? The woman asked. Melissa Carter. These children are? My kids. Adopted. Finalized in 2022, Texas. I have copies in my car, photos on my phone, insurance cards in my wallet. Please don't take them from me. They're terrified. She nodded, crouched beside Jaden. Hey, buddy. What's your name? Jaden, he sobbed. Is that your mom? Yes, that's my mom. I want to go home. She looked at Miranda. What's your name, sweetheart? Mira, sniffled the girl. My mommy. This is my mommy. The officer stood, met my eyes, and I saw she understood. Kids don't fake that. Not like this. She turned to her partner, whispered something. Then the male officer walked to the man. Sir, where exactly did you see these kids? Online, he said. On Nextdoor. There was a post. 2 missing kids taken by a white woman in an SUV. It's them. Look at them. Do you have the post? Yes, wait, hold on. He scrolled frantically. It was maybe a few weeks ago, or last month. Or my sister shared it. But they look like them. Sir, said the officer, exasperated. Are you sure it was from this city? I thought so. And it was definitely about these children. They were dark-skinned. And there was a white lady. So you decided this was them? Yes, I mean, they fit. You decided, the officer repeated. Without verifying. Without calling 911, without checking the date. You just grabbed a woman in a grocery store and accused her of kidnapping. The man's voice wavered. I was trying to help. Your help terrified children, the officer said flatly. And could have gone very wrong. The woman officer turned back to me. Melissa, can we see the documents? Of course, I said. They're in the car. Let's go. Keep your kids with you. We walked out. I opened the glove box, pulled out the folder I always keep, copies of adoption papers, photos, hospital notes, everything. She flipped through them, nodded. Everything checks out. I'm very sorry for what happened. It's not your fault, I said quietly. It's his. We'll talk to him, she said. What happens to people like that? I asked. He grabbed me. He yelled I was a criminal. Is that assault? Defamation? She sighed. It can be considered disorderly conduct or filing a false report, but usually they just get warned. Warned, I repeated bitterly. While my kids have nightmares. She looked at them, red-eyed, trembling. If you'd like to file a report, you can. We'll take a statement and get the store footage. So we stood there in the Texas sun, shaking. The man came out of the store. He wasn't a hero anymore, just deflated. He looked at me and said, I just wanted to help. Help who? I asked. Your ego? Or children you don't even know? Do you realize if those officers had been different, less patient, You could have destroyed my family? They could have handcuffed me in front of my kids. Kids who already lost a mother once. Do you get that? He opened his mouth, closed it, then muttered, "You're white, they're not. I just thought." "Exactly," I said. "You thought? You didn't ask." He walked away. No handcuffs. Just a warning. An honest mistake. I drove home shaking. Didn't buy the rest of the groceries. Didn't get the cookies I'd promised. I just loaded the bags, drove off, and let the kids cling to me from their car seats, whispering, "Mommy, is the man bad? Mommy, will they take us? Mommy, are you real?" That one, "Are you real?" broke me. Because my kids have already seen mothers disappear. They know it's possible to lose a mom. And now, in the middle of a grocery store, a stranger screamed that I wasn't theirs. At home, I turned on a cartoon for them, went into the bathroom, and sobbed. A 41-year-old woman sitting on the floor, crying like she'd lost everything. Because for a moment, I thought I might. In this country, I'll always have to prove I'm a mother. Not because I'm bad at it, but because my skin doesn't match theirs. I called my ex-husband. He cursed. "You filed a report?" "Not yet." "Do it. He could have hurt you. He could have grabbed one of them. If security hadn't come, who knows?" "What if he files one against me?" I asked. I shoved him. "He touched you first. There are cameras. File it." So I did. The police called back later. Said they'd get the footage. Said he'd probably just get a warning, maybe a fine. Nothing compared to what he did to us. Then the next day, the kicker, a woman from Child Protective Services called. "Mrs. Carter, we received a report about a possible abduction. We need to do a wellness check. Nothing personal, just protocol." I almost dropped the phone. "Are you serious?" I said. "You're checking me because some random guy attacked me?" "I'm sorry, ma'am. It's procedure. These kids are already in your system. You placed them with us. We finalized adoption through your office." "I see that, yes," she said politely. "But we still have to check." I hung up and just sat there, shaking. The first blow was him. The second was the system that still doubted me. Saturday, the caseworker came by. Young, kind, talked to the kids. They proudly showed her their cat and new beds. She checked the house, the fridge, the photos on the wall. First day of school, Christmas, trip to Louisiana. "Everything looks perfect," she said. "I'll close the report." "Can I ask you something?" I said. "If I were Latina or black with same-colored kids, would he still think I kidnapped them?" She hesitated. He could have thought anything, but incidents like this do tend to happen when the parent and child look very different. "That's not unfortunate," I said. "That's racism wrapped in paranoia." She didn't argue. After that, I couldn't go back to that store for weeks. I ordered groceries online. Then I shopped at night when the kids were asleep and my ex could watch them. Eventually, I forced myself to take them again because I didn't want them to think that if someone yells, "Mom will lose us." I needed them to see, no, Mom stands her ground. But now I carry what I call a safety folder. Inside, copies of adoption papers, photos of us as a family, letters from school, proof. Proof that I'm their mother, in case I have to defend it again. Sometimes I lie awake wondering, what if those cops had been different? What if they'd cuffed me just to be safe? What would that have done to my kids? Kids who already saw their birth mom taken away. How would they ever trust anyone again? And the thing that angers me most is when people say, "He meant well." No. Meaning well is calling 911 quietly. Meaning well is asking calmly, "Ma'am, are you okay?" Meaning well is not grabbing a stranger and screaming, "Kidnapper," in public. Because in that moment, when he yelled, everyone stopped seeing me as a mother. I became a threat. A white woman with stolen brown kids. A month later, I got a letter. From him. He found my address, probably through the report, handwritten. He said he was sorry. He said that 2 years ago, someone tried to take his granddaughter, and ever since then, he'd been on alert. That he didn't mean to hurt anyone. That he prays for us. I read it and thought, maybe he had his trauma, but his trauma doesn't give him the right to create new ones for my children. I didn't reply. That night, I just hugged Jaden and Miranda tighter as they slept. And I told myself, next time, I'll stay alert too.